and welcome to the Unathletic. We're in a brand new set, aka my living room.
Upgrade.
Yeah, it's an upgrade, man. I mean, look at the production quality behind this.
It's gone way up, like 10 times at least.
Yeah,
minimum.
We have a screen in front of us to look at stats, which probably we're not going to look at.
And today. I look much better sitting here on the couch than in the OG positions there. But yeah, that's... let's keep it PG-13. Go on.
I don't even want to know what you meant by that, bro. But we're building up to the new season. This has been handed over to Spain.
I mean, you want
to... Yeah, give it a go.
Give it a good old shimmy and a lift.
Yeah. Oh!
I'll pass it on to you also.
No, man, my teams didn't win, but it's nice to hold anyway.
Yeah.
But, today we are going to be taking a look at the new season, but specifically the new managers of the big teams in this new season. Actually, before we get right into that, 2-line summary of the World Cup. Go.
Absolutely incredible World Cup. I mean, it was one of those World Cups where you could sense the vibes throughout the tournament and everyone was on it. Everyone didn't expect it to go all that well because of all the bureaucratic stuff before going into the World Cup, but the actual tournament in itself and the sporting merit of it was beautiful. I mean, it was a very good tournament to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I think the team which won at the end of the day were deserving.
Yeah, absolutely deserved.
The finals is like another thing altogether, but like throughout the tournament they were just like unbeatable, to be honest. Like
both the teams that came to the finals they did show their the fight to get into the finals itself. Argentina had a different way of going about it. Spain had a completely different domination going into the tournament as well as into the finals. Their defensive abilities, man, they were a joke. Conceding one goal up to the finals, it was straight out of the Premier League champions notebook.
Oh my God.
I mean, you still haven't congratulated me on the pod or...
Why do I have to do it in front of the camera?
You do. Say it.
Congratulations.
Say it louder.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Yeah.
For?
I don't know, man. You figure it out. Fill in the blanks. For reaching the Champions League finals, bro.
And
losing to PSG.
And what happened 1 week before that?
Okay, I mean, they won the league, unfortunately. And I think that is a good segue into the actual topic we have at hand, which is taking a look at the league, at the new managers for the big teams. We have 3 names we're going to focus on, especially this episode, to give you an idea of what to expect. We're going to be talking about Enzo Maresca, who's now taken charge of Manchester City. Huge shoes to fill. We have Xabi Alonso, who's now at the helm. Chelsea are a shit show, but Xabi Alonso, I think, would do well because he has lesser expectations of him, considering where Chelsea finished. And of course, finally, you have Iraola, who genuinely one of the more exciting managers in world football, finally getting his chance at a big club. So we're going to go through each of these managers, talk a little bit about tactics and what we can expect this season.
So, these are exciting times, no? Because you have changes across the board in the Premier League. Yeah. You have 5 of the top 6 managers relatively new.
Yeah, I mean, if you count
Carrick
with Spurs and United.
So both of them got like around 5 to 6 months, or like De Zerbi got even lesser. I think he got like a couple months or a single month with Tottenham. So it's completely new managers across the board. You have one experienced manager leading the whole charge. We're not going to talk about him today, but yeah. So it's a different scenario altogether in the Premier League, and it's the even interesting part about this is majority of these guys are guys we watched play.
Yeah, I don't know what that says about us in our age, but
I don't know how to put it across, whether to be happy about it or whether to be sad about it. But we've seen these guys ball and now.
You've seen these guys what?
Nothing. We've seen these guys ball out on the football field. And now to see them all dressed up in black or suited up on the touchline, it's a completely different experience altogether. And I hope it's going to be fun.
It is. And I think there's a lot of uncertainty because when you have a new manager at a big club in their first season, it really could go one of two ways, right? Either they do extremely well, or there's those growing pains, as they say, and you're not able to hit the ground running.
Yep.
And the fact of the matter is that since we have so many new managers in these top clubs, not all of them are going to succeed, and that's what's going to make the meltdown of one section of fans very beautiful.
And it's going to be sweeter. I mean, especially if you're sitting from a position of comfort, it is definitely going to be sweeter.
Bro, you are far too cocky, bro, at the start of the season. Just like far too cocky.
Reigning champions. You got to respect that to some level at least.
Not to a very large level, but okay, we'll get into the Arteta fights a bit later on into this season. Let's start, Po, with the man I call the most exciting signing, Iraola.
Oof.
Now, Iraola is genuinely, I think, one of the more sound tactical young minds in football today. Him getting a chance at Liverpool is great for him in terms of personal growth. He killed it back in Spain when he took charge of. Okay, here's the thing about Iraola. He is a Basque man through and through, and these Basque footballers and managers are born and kind of molded by that culture. Right? He brings about that certain style of football into the Premier League with Bournemouth. And at Bournemouth as well, he has completely transformed the style of football which Bournemouth used to play.
100%.
Now, Eddie Howe was incredible at Bournemouth and got them to the Premier League and got them kind of established as a Premier League club. But taking that step from a mid-table Premier League club to now a team which is actually fighting for Europe and in Europe, European spots, great credit to Iraola.
The way he set out his team with Bournemouth as well. And I mean, you talked about how he seems very sound tactically. Even his general personality as well. He looks like the sort of calming person who never takes anything. I mean, it never infuriates him. It doesn't like rile him up. He doesn't take that pressure. Yeah. He seems to be at ease with it. And he seems like the right appointment for a team of the caliber of Liverpool. Also in terms of the sustained pressure that he's going to have to deal with coming from a team, say, of Bournemouth's capabilities, and that jump. I think he'll be able to deal with that jump also.
I mean, it's tough to say, to be honest. I think from a character perspective, yes, he has it in him. But of course, a lot of managers who have done well at a lower club and then make that jump up, it
doesn't go that well, yeah.
I mean, Graham Potter is kind of a perfect example. I'm not saying Iraola and Potter are kind of comparable, but in a sense they are, right? Similar kind of club profile, overachieve with them and now go to a big club. The thing about Iraola, and let's talk a little bit about his tactics, Po, and how Bournemouth especially played. One thing which Iraola absolutely demands is running. You have to absolutely physically be at your peak to play in a team like Bournemouth. That actually is what led to him developing so many of these players. So their midfield two of Tyler Adams and Alex Scott, are great. I mean, like, you can see how their valuations in the transfer.
Alex Scott is valued around 80 to 100 mil at this point.
And he's just one of those players who does the basics right. But what Iraola really demands is kind of chaos. He wants to bring chaos on a pitch. And this is going to maybe sound a lot to Liverpool fans like Jurgen Klopp. And that's because to a large extent it kind of is.
Correct.
Especially out of possession, where it is not exactly gegenpress, but the whole point of Bournemouth's system is to ensure that today's Premier League teams, and we've spoken a lot about like how tactics have been evolving in the Premier League, where today it seems like most of the clubs are favouring control over a game, like slow build out, your low block or mid block versus our control possession. And then when we give the ball away, we also stay compact. Bournemouth are not going to play like that. Liverpool are not going to play like that. Iraola's whole tactical identity is press high, press aggressive, try to win the ball up front, and then try to score as quickly as possible.
So, I mean, basically, you could try to create a state of chaos and disarray in the opposition's attacking third, and then you try to leverage that and then go past them.
Exactly. And even when you're trying to build up from the back, it's even less controlled than what I would say Klopp was. where he really does depend on his players being able to play direct vertical passes. Vertical, of course, means like if the pitch is like this, you go like this, like this, rather than going side to side. And that is something which really served Bournemouth really well. If you look at the kind of profiles of players which they had, right? Senesi, for example, was a really good player at breaking the lines with his passes. And that's something which Virgil van Dijk would be extremely good at as well. You have people like Morgan Gibbs-White, who, since you're going to be playing a lot of direct balls up front, you need someone to be able to contest for the balls and win the second ball, right? That's something which they would need. Semenyo was a great outlet for them. You have these attacking, marauding fullbacks who start off positionally deep, but when Bournemouth have progressed the ball to the final third, these guys really do join the attack. And the best example of that is Kirkes before he joined Liverpool.
That entire backline, no? Because Iraola had to deal not just with one or two of their established backline going away. I mean, that entire backline was that decimated. You had Zabirni, who went to PSG. You had Dean Hewison, who went to Madrid. You have Kirkes, who went to Liverpool. So 3 out of those 4 were taken away in the same summer.
And they were all starters, like first 11.
And they were so good as a unit. And thing is, these guys were initially gems that Bournemouth went ahead and got into the team. And Iraola's actually managed to put them across in a proper defensive structure, even though his system doesn't exactly call for it.
Yeah.
And to have them being taken away before the start of last season and still manage to, emulate what he did the previous season with Bournemouth, finish in the top half of the table. Now I think this is the first time they've gone into European places, at least fighting for them, finishing 8th or 9th in the...
They are in Europe.
They are in Europe. Yeah. So it's incredible. You've got to give him his due flowers there. So I think he's done an incredible job with Bournemouth. And I think Liverpool have gone in the right direction in terms of actually trying to find a manager who's sort of fitting in with their cultural identity. Over at least the cultural identity that has been established over the last 10 years and what has been put into place there. So I think that is a very good move from their side, at least. It is a step in the right direction, going for a manager who is sort of playing in the similar molds of Jurgen Klopp there. So I think it is going to be an exciting signing for them. Appointment for them.
But I think kind of the problem area over here is that Bournemouth were very good last season at kind of dragging teams to their level, right? Because we're not going to let you set up and control the game. We're just going to go at you, and then when you win the ball, we're going to try and score direct and quickly. They had, I think, about 51% possession average last season, which is I think 11th or 12th, like in the lower half of the Premier League in terms of average possession. The problem is that when you go to a big club, you're expected to be the pace setter. You're expected to be the ones who dominate and control games. And that, I think, is going to be something which is a little bit... Maybe some modifications need to be made in tactics. And second, like I said, the way they kind of set up with their pressing, right? They start off zonally, but the moment the pressing trigger is set, they immediately switch to man-to-man. And that, of course, takes a lot of stamina, but also your players need to be able to make those split sessions.
The coordination is required. Your players ideally need to get to know at what point of the game state his teammates are at that particular time also. So they need to pinpoint that. They have to be able to, it has to be ingrained in them. And ideally the preseason, the appointments made much before, well in advance of the season starting. He's going to get a full preseason to actually try out his method. So I think that's one area where he can try to focus on.
And it's going to take time, I feel, because even when he came to Bournemouth, in the first 9 games in charge, he had just 3 points. And of course, at a club like Liverpool, that will set off alarm bells, especially because Liverpool needs to be in Europe. So of course you have to give him the entire season and judge where they are at the end of it. But I wouldn't expect a quick start from them. They're going to play very exciting football. I think Liverpool's games are going to be a lot of fun to watch for the neutral because they're going to be goals from both
Remember
teams.
when Jurgen Klopp signed initially in 2016 or 2015, those games against Norwich and those 7-4, 7-3, those kind of weird numbers which are not meant to be anywhere associated with a football game. We got to see those games. So I hope this also turns out in something of that similar fashion.
It could. I mean, one game which I'm always drawn back to is the United Bournemouth game at Old Trafford, which finished 4-4, which was a nonsensical game. It was just pure chaos, and I think that's something which the Liverpool players and Liverpool fans need to embrace. Very quickly before we move on, I want to talk a little bit about a few of the players which are going to be extremely key. I think number one, Van Dijk, because we spoke about how on the ball he's going to be key for Bournemouth being able to play those vertical passes, breaking the lines and all of that. But equally, Bournemouth play extremely aggressive front foot defense and a high line. And that is kind of the opposite of how Virgil van Dijk likes to defend. He likes to be the one who sweeps. He likes to be the one who kind of jockeys.
Shepherds his man.
The aura defending.
Yeah.
If you want to go the meme route where he just backs off so that he doesn't get dribbled past, but hopefully it allows people to come back and maintain shape. That is not what Iraola wants at all. So there's going to be kind of an adjustment period over there. They have gone ahead and they've signed 2 central defenders. One is Jeremy Jacquet, who's honestly someone who I think is a front foot defender who would work very well in the system and probably would be the starting centre back next to Van Dijk eventually.
Hopefully, at least.
But the other name, Araujo.
Man, I don't know where that came out from. It just popped up yesterday on my timeline as soon as I opened X in the morning. And
you call it X?
No, I tried to call it X here on this call, in this particular call.
Why, bro?
I don't know, it just came in the top of my head and then I said it and it sounds completely weird, guys.
I mean, X
Sorry, Elon.
Just sounds like an adult site, bro, with you and...
What do you mean with me?
I don't know, you're talking about looking at managers' balls and all, bro. I don't know what you're talking about this week.
That was a slip of tongue of slip.
Yeah.
So, where was I? Thanks for making me lose my train of thought.
I don't know, bro. You were talking about the Araujo signing.
Yeah, so completely off guard because this is the guy. I mean, I don't want to. So he's had issues with his mental health and he's to actually take time off from his playing career at Barca. He is, I think, around 2 to 3 months. He was away from the team. Yeah. He went somewhere else and tried to get back to his best and come back to the team. And he's done so, but he's not exactly the type of defender that you'd expect Liverpool to go ahead and sign. Yeah. He has a lot of errors in him. He has
a lot of red cards.
Yup. So the thing is, he makes these snappy decisions which come to fore later. I mean, he ends up regretting it more often than not. But so these kind of defenders who think on their feet. I mean, I don't say you can call it thinking on their feet, but people who make these snap decisions, ideally,
he's
and aggressive guys.
He's Eric Bailly, bro, basically.
You're Romero. Yeah, so, but the thing is, Liverpool, when you know you have to have your defenders be front-footed and they have to be tactically sound in terms of knowing what to do exactly at that particular time, and they have to keep their wits to themselves at that time. Yup. And they can't go ahead lunging into tackles just because the system demands aggressive tackling and backing up into your attacker, being very aggressive there. But you can't give away those fouls there, and Araujo doesn't seem to be the one who will be able to fit into that profile. Luckily for Liverpool, it's a 6-month loan.
It's a full season loan, I think.
Okay, full season loan without any obligation to buy, but they're covering the entire salary, so it depends on how the season turns out. Then they can make a decision about it.
Were so happy about
happy.
Yeah, and up front also, I think another thing which is key to the way Bournemouth play are, of course, you need your wingers to be direct, as direct as possible. You get the ball, you attack.
Ryan's breakthrough was under him.
Semenyo became a god under him. And that does put a lot of pressure, but also a lot of opportunity for the likes of Nkumo. And Cody Gakpo, I don't know where he's going to actually end up fitting into the squad, if he's going to be there at all. But the wingers need to be direct and able to take their men on. Yeah. And that's something which we're going to have to see. Up front as well, you have Tavernier and Krupi Jr., the striker and number 10, and they kind of interchange a lot.
This is for Bournemouth.
For Bournemouth. Yeah. You switch to Liverpool, and I think you have a solid striker and number 10 partnership, particularly because Ekitike is out for a majority of the season. So Isak is going to be your focal point, and Wirtz is going to play right behind him. And I actually think that this is going to be a great season for Wirtz because this style of play suits him really well. He's an intelligent player. And he's also a player who can pop up with a lot of goals if he gets in the right positions. And play off of someone. So I think those are probably the two names to watch from an attacking front with these guys.
Where do you see Liverpool under Raiola finishing?
I don't know. I think probably a Champions League spot is doable for them because see, Liverpool just have so much quality in their team. Their midfield is a bit of an issue. Szoboszlai and McAllister are a
Gravenberch.
Yeah, but that's what I don't think Gravenberch is really that well cut out for this system. I think you need people who are a lot more mobile and able to press. So I would think those two would be your midfielders, but then you lose a lot in terms of physicality, in terms of like your aerial ability and being able to contest for balls like that. So there are still issues in this team, but I think Iraola is such a good manager and I rate him so highly that I believe Liverpool can finish in the Champions League spot, but I don't see them in the top 3 this season at all.
I think they'll finish. I mean, that's a good shout. 4th or 5th, I think, is a decent.
A comfortable 4th or 5th is what I'm feeling.
That's a good shout. I think I'm also aligned to 5th, them finishing around 5th.
Okay, let's move on now to the problem club.
Chelsea. Of
with
course.
Their and I actually checked this before the pod just to make sure I'm not bullshitting over here. A 41-man senior squad at this point.
I don't even know what to say to that. I don't even know what to say to that. But Mudrik's back.
Yeah, Mudrik's back. 42 then, I guess. I don't know. But let's not talk too much about Chelsea. Let's talk specifically about Xabi Alonso.
So I mean,
he's at career crossroads, Po. Someone who was at the highest of highs. An invincible season, did the unthinkable of beating Bayern Munich.
So I think it's the same problem, no? Because you know what the problem of him in Madrid, if you're specifying that particular time frame for him was. I mean, I think he did not. His entire record at Madrid is 21 or 22 wins, 4 draws, and 5 losses, which on paper isn't bad at all. I mean, for
Premier League standards,
it isn't bad at all.
Yeah.
So that's a decent return in your first season at a new club with new set of players.
Like the point I'm trying to make is not like he struggled to a point where like they were second. Like they were not going to finish first.
That's what.
But it's not like a disaster.
But you try to add all of the other caveats that go into context here, and then you'll try to think of it as a good job that he's done. Because see, I'll take a few of the things because his preferred system is a 3-4-3 or a 3. I mean, he'll play with 2 people behind the striker also, if not. So, but it's a back 3. That's what he established at Bayer Leverkusen from the moment he took over in 2022. He was there for 3 years, if I'm not wrong. And in 2024 is when he did the unbeatable, invincible season. Yeah. So his record that particular season was 35 wins in the domestic league. 35 wins and 51 across all competitions. He would have done an unprecedented, unbeaten, invincible domestic treble, not domestic, international treble, like European treble. Because they were in the Europa League, if I'm not wrong, Europa or Conference League, and they lost to an Ademola Lookman's hat-trick, Atalanta. So if not for that, he would have pulled off a treble, but he still walked away with a double. So that's an incredible return as you're in your first job as a manager when you've gone in as a rookie.
And even that 3-4-3 you're talking about, like that's how they set up.
That's the way he envisions his team to set out and play, because his basic principles are 5 in attack, 5 in defense.
Correct.
So he achieves that by having his 2 holding midfielders join in with the defense. So that makes your back 5. Yeah. Your wing backs, who are the most crucial in this particular system, they join in attack, join your front 3, and then that becomes your attacking 5. So in these 2 phases that he's basically divided the team into, he has one main, so apparently he has these captains specifically for the back 5 and for the front 5 also, you know. So back 5...
That reminds me of some manager who used to do this kind of stuff.
I don't remember that, but yeah. So he has this weird thing where these individual areas have these leaders that he specified, because so in the back 5 it was Granit Xhaka who did the dirty work for them. This guy, I mean, so his 2 midfielders, one is a controller type who likes to take the general, the metronome, and the other one is a press resistant midfielder who'll try to wiggle his way through the opposition's attacking press.
So if you have to, like, just for these 2 in Chelsea's squad, right? normally you would imagine that you play Caicedo and either Lavia or Enzo, but most likely Enzo, right?
So it'll be a Caicedo and Enzo. Enzo will be your metronome. Caicedo will be your... ideally, he's supposed to be the pressure-resistant type to fit into Xabi Alonso's system, but there will be some tweaks that has to be done to ensure Caicedo is there. Yeah. But on the flip side, when it comes to defensive duties, it fits perfectly for him because Caicedo is your aggressive at your toe. He's nipping at your foot type midfielder.
No time on the ball when he's in midfield. Yeah.
So that'll be how it works for Chelsea. But when it comes to Bayern Leverkusen, he had put Xhaka as his metronome there. He was the one who's in charge of organizing that entire back five. And he's also the one who's ensuring that the ball gets connected from this section of 5 players to the next section of 5 players. And the main person in that particular front 5 was your Wirtz. Yeah. So your free roaming number 10, he plays with a system of 2 10s actually. Yeah. So one is a free roaming player, the other one is your shadow striker or a person who's trying to arrive late into the box and try to score goals.
But also, like, you're describing him at his most successful, right? When he went to Madrid, he did show that he could change tactically because he did not play with a back 3 specifically.
Yeah. Do you think that is that came out of Xabi Alonso or was that enforced on him?
But I think that is the most interesting question to answer because we don't know. Because even at Chelsea, I mean, pre-season is pre-season.
See, the thing is, you do know because if you go look at the trend of what the way he set out his teams. Initially, he tried the 4-2-3-1 setup or the 4-3-3 setup that Madrid are comfortable with over the last 10 to 12 years under Zidane, under Ancelotti, under Mourinho, whoever came played that system for them. So even he tried to play out with that system with the players that he already had at his disposal, superstar players at his disposal, and he tried to work around that. He tried to play in the same system, but basically, I mean, I think he went about that logic about it's not about the numbers and the structures and how you put it out in the paper, but the individual roles that you assign to the players, no? Yeah. So because of that, he tried to do that, but it didn't work out initially. I mean, it did work out initially because he won, I think, 9 out of his first 10 games or so. He went on a good run and then he tried to change it though, because he tried to bring back the back 3. He had the players also for it. He had Trent on one side, he had Carreras on the other side.
Yeah, but with Madrid, if you play with just 3 defenders, like 3 central defenders, that already kind of...
it brings a bad... I mean, I don't know, because if I say it brings a bad picture or a different image of how Madrid are or what they were and how it portrays them if you put back 3 there. Yeah. That ideally says the back 3 system is a regressive system, which I don't believe in.
No, but the thing is that when you're at a big club, it does get perceived like no matter what, because I'm speaking from personal experience, Ruben Amorim experience, where it did not go right.
But it's a tactical system. How do you put bias in it by trying to say that one is a regressive system, one is an aggressive one, or
so
front foot?
Number one is specifically you do have more defensive minded players just as a rule, right? Because you're not going to play your... So for example, if you're playing a 4-3-3, right? Your wingers are like your forwards. Like they're actual out and out attackers, right? And if you play a 3-4-3, those 2 wing backs cannot be... You can't play like Sadio Mane and like Mo Salah over there.
That's why you play a Frimpong there. Because Xabi Alonso's major key man is was, at least in Bayern Leverkusen, he was Frimpong.
I agree. But
he was your out and out runner. He has outrun everybody in the league that particular season.
But my point is that you're still getting in someone who's a little bit more...
See, the thing is, you're looking at it from a team who are basically, I mean, from a small club team's mentality. Because if you're talking about back 3 system, but in your head, if it's majorly thinking about like a back 5, when you immediately, as soon as anybody says back 3, isn't that a small club's mentality? Because if you think about back 3 system automatically translating into back 5, that just shows that you've always been behind the ball and trying to put on a low block or a mid block.
No, but the issue is that in the Premier League, and this is where I think Ruben Amorim was kind of undone, right? Is because you had your wing back, and of course you need like people who are specialized in that role. I think that is more or less like a necessity.
That is a given.
It's a given. So I'm going to give Xabi Alonso the benefit of doubt that he's got these wing backs, right? If at United, he played Amad Diallo as right wing back and he was good for us, right? The issue is that defensively, in the Premier League, because you have people who are more physically stronger, faster, like just the level of individual quality is that much higher, right? out wide, you are very susceptible to one-on-ones. And out wide is normally when you have players with the highest technical quality who can go past a man and have the speed to go past a man. That, I think, becomes the issue when you go to a larger team, a larger league, a team which, okay, fine. In Germany, it is a good league, of course, but it's not the same standard as the Premier League. And I think that becomes a key issue because right now, at left wing back, they've got rid of Cucurella, right, who wanted to join Real Madrid, of course. He would have been absolutely perfect as a left wing back. They've got in Palestra, who is a very talented left wing back. At right wing back, you don't really have anyone right now. You're going to have to play Neto. You're going to have to play maybe someone like a Giovanni Quenda who came from Benfica.
I think Reece James is perfect for that role.
But Reece James is not going to stay injured. He's not going to stay fit.
So,
and Reece James probably also might...
That's a different thing altogether.
But he might even play
I want to... the Cucurella shout, but I think that wouldn't fit in a Xabi Alonso system because... How Xabi Alonso likes to set up is, like as I said, it was a 3-4-3 system with sort of a box midfield. You have your two sitting midfielders as well as your two attacking tens. So one of them, who's the leader in the back, acts as a connector to your free roaming 10.
Right.
Usually that was Wirtz in Bayern Leverkusen.
Right.
And what he does, he's very good on the half turn. Yeah. He receives the ball and instantly he does the half turn. He sees his wing backs immediately on either flank, and that's when it goes out to the wide area.
Yeah.
He tries to
build out from the wide.
He overloads in the midfield, tries to create a increased numbers game there, and then springs it out to the wide man immediately. And the wide men, what they do is their job is to just cover ground. They don't have to be good technically. Frimpong was his main... one side he had Frimpong, one side he had Grimaldo.
Yeah.
So both of them are not your technically superior players, but these guys, your speed melchers, they're your Martinellis, your Netos, these kind of players. They'll run for you all day, all night, and then once they receive the ball just outside the box, but on the way, on the edges of the field, their first thought is to put the ball in. That's it. So that's how he likes to play out with that superiority in numbers in midfield. So it'll be critical for him to have Palmer, Enzo, Caicedo all be on the same page. And now he's trying to play João Pedro also along with Palmer. Yeah. So that midfield is a baller midfield, I'd say.
It is, but at the same time, I don't know. Like for me, there's a lot of...
I think Palestra also fits in perfectly because Cucurella likes to invert. Yeah. He likes to come. Yeah. Cucurella would like to come into midfield. He'd pop up as a second striker in those left half spaces. Xabi Alonso doesn't need that. He doesn't want that. He just wants that wing back on either side to be straight runners.
Yeah.
So I think it works out perfectly for them.
So apart from tactics, right? We've spoken a little bit about how Chelsea might fit with Xabi Alonso's tactics and how he played before. With Chelsea, there's a big ego management problem.
Madrid had the ego management problem.
I think Chelsea do too. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, these are pro footballers. There are 41 people.
You're talking about it. You're looking at it from the fact that the squad is an overgrown squad. There are 42 people playing for them.
You do have people who kind of had issues with the previous manager, who you could say kind of down tools for the previous manager, especially people like Enzo Fernandez, even Cole Palmer. His levels very clearly dropped last season. Goalkeeper is an issue. They have plenty of goalkeepers, but none of them seem to be at that right standard. But let's not talk tactics, but in terms of what he needs to do to turn this Titanic
So the
around.
Thing is, he's the script writer. He needs Xabi Alonso needs people on board with his idea, with his philosophy. He got that at Bayern Leverkusen because these guys were part of a bigger cog. Like they were the cog that was part of a bigger picture. I mean, they were a bigger machine. No, they were all ready to give their best to be part of that team.
Yeah.
Madrid, on the other hand, you have these superstars in Madrid. His major gripes were with Vinny, who was not Vinny, Valverde, Bellingham.
Yeah.
Vinny was actively pissed off at Xabi Alonso for being substituted before the full time. Valverde and Bellingham both were really pissed about the tactical system that he tried to impose at Madrid. The logic coming from, it's Madrid, I don't have to play a back three system, or you have to play the system that fits the players best rather than the players try to shoehorn the players into the system that you want to do.
Yeah.
So it's that egg and chicken problem itself. I don't think it wouldn't have ever worked out at Madrid. But at Chelsea, you still have this huge squad, it's given. But the fact that these players are still relatively not at the peak of their powers, they want to still prove themselves, they are not the superstars yet.
Yeah.
I think that will still work in favor of Xabi Alonso as long as he gets the players on board and in tune with his mindset.
Yeah, and I think one other factor before we close on Xabi Alonso is that Chelsea are not in Europe. They're going to have a lot of time on the training pitch. That helped out Michael Carrick a lot for Manchester United.
48 games a season,
Yeah, so Chelsea are going to be, I think, a lot better than last season for sure. But it really does depend on Xabi Alonso and whether he's going to stick to the proven winning formula and whether he's able to inculcate that in the Chelsea team versus whether he's going to try that Madrid approach where like, okay, I'm going to try and, tinker the system and make it better suited for the opposition in front of me or for what the fans expect or things like that. That could be, I think, the biggest issue.
Correct. But also, you got to remember that the last team in the Premier League who were actually successful with the back three were Chelsea.
That's also true.
It was under, I forgot. Conte, yeah.
Yeah. They won the league with that.
Yeah, so that was like, apart from that, I can't pull out any other Premier League team to have won the league was a back three in recent times.
And I mean, also Chelsea are not very patient as a club, so any team is moldable enough to change tactics completely at the span of a season. I think it's Chelsea because they don't have a recognized identity attached to them in terms of ideology, like the playing style and all of that. Yeah, so. I mean, it's not like Arsenal also, right? Because Arsenal changed. I mean, they go from Wenger ball, beautiful football, to Arteta playing.
It took a while, but it did work out. So
okay. I just want to get one shot in there. But yeah. It well. The next and final person we're going to talk about today, Po, is Enzo Maresca.
The baldy.
The big shoes to fill.
Is that why we have a shiny round head on the top of our table?
Bro, bald is fraud, bro. So, I mean, I don't know. That's not going to work
now. Have you seen those recent images of Fabian Hertzler? He's the guy with the Brighton cocky manager with the full head of hair. He's gone bald. I think he's gone to...
Turkey, huh?
Yeah, he's come back from
Turkey. Need Turkey, bro.
I mean, insecurities, man. Let's go.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I think he's trying to... maybe Mikel Arteta has started something,
Yeah, he was damn pissed last year.
Yeah, like a full head of hair is required. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to emulate him tactically and follically as well.
Okay.
But I mean, speaking of follicles and lack of them, Enzo Maresca is now the Manchester City boss. Now, of course, the obvious comparison in recent times is Klopp leaving Liverpool and Sir Alex Ferguson leaving Manchester United. It is that big of an imprint, right? Pep
you forgot one person who left in between.
Arsene Wenger.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's a bigger, influence over a team leaving than Jurgen Klopp, I'd say, man. Come on, man. You're giving Klopp, who's 8 or 9 years into it, and you're going to take his name rather than Arsene Wenger's name, who was there at the club for 22 years. But Klopp won one Premier League title after 30 years.
Okay.
A team won it under Slot immediately after he left. So his impact was negligible, I'd say.
Oh my God, Klopp's impact.
If you're not going to bring up Arsene Wenger there, I'm going to go this route and say Klopp is...
No, I have no issues, bro.
Bring it up then.
Like, these are teams I don't support anyway. But like, if you want to look
at
the camera and say this is your...
You are talking about the impact of a manager leaving and how it has an adverse effect on the club. On a club.
Yeah.
Liverpool actually won the league after he went.
No, that's what I want to talk about actually. Because... why I didn't bring up Arsene Wenger is because he was kind of kicked out, bro. Like, honestly, right? Like, compared to the other two.
I mean, it was time to go.
Whatever, right? But
he left on his terms, but like at least what we are perceived to see. I mean, what was shown to us. Yeah.
But the reason I got this up is that you're leaving from a successful, like an absolute success, right? Like Klopp, Ferguson and Pep Guardiola. Guardiola also maybe didn't have the best last season, but whatever, right?
Klopp also didn't have the best of last season.
Yeah, he didn't have the best last season. But the point I'm trying to make is that this can go two completely different
It is
ways,
not going the slot way.
right? The slot way is that you get a manager and that manager has absolute quality and he honestly does not even have to change anything because that team in autopilot is so damn good that you don't even have to imprint your tactical identity. That became a problem for Slot in the second season when he got sacked because he realized that, now my players are leaving, my players are aging, I can't play that same system anymore, so you start putting your own system in and that breaks things. The big difference over here though is that Maresca is as much of a clone of Pep Guardiola
as anybody.
Huh?
As anybody.
As anyone in
out
world
of
football probably.
Out of everyone who's come out of the Pep school of thought there, I think Maresca is the one more in tune with what Pep did. I mean, I'm talking about specifically Pep's tenure at Man City.
Exactly.
I'm not contextualizing anything about Bayern or Barca.
And Enzo Maresca, I mean, his history is basically Manchester City, right? Because he took charge of their youth system. City had their high performance academy, the most successful youth academy in England, of course. In recent times, of course. I mean, people like Cole Palmer, for example, there's a huge list of people who he's seen under his wing over there. He went to Chelsea, and Chelsea actually under Maresca started off really well, but they started off well scoring a lot of direct kind of counter-attacking goals where they're able to move the ball quickly through their lines. But as Maresca got his identity imprinted onto the team more and more,
it's the complete opposite.
And that's what kind of led to his downfall in terms of results. What actually led him to leaving the club is because he, from his perspective, felt that he wasn't backed. He wasn't getting the signings he
needed a few more defenders.
Yeah, and from Chelsea, and he wanted centre back, and he got Garnacho, bro. I mean, that would piss anyone off.
And the moment he's gone, they signed a couple more centre backs.
But from Chelsea's perspective, this is a man who openly admitted to the Chelsea board that he wanted the Manchester City job because that's what he was being groomed for all this time. And now he's got the job he wanted. The issue now, Po, is that which way is this going to go? Because he has, very different from Ferguson, for example, or even when Wenger left, right? The City structure, the director of football, and entire kind of backroom structure which is there at City is built to make managers succeed. They will get incredible players for you.
It's an organization, it's an enterprise because every other club ideally is run in a way that is not an industry specific way of running things ideally. City on the other hand have these administrators on board across the board. In Sheikhy and I forgot the other guy's name, but all these guys have been there for the last 10 years or 12 years since...
They came a season before Guardiola even joined City.
So I mean, that's a huge tenure of administration being in place. You remove just one component out of it in Guardiola and you put another who is like for like.
Yeah, that's what they think is going to work.
That is going to work, but the thing is, regardless of how they run and regardless of how I say that they're a well-oiled machine, the amount of money that they have in their hands to throw at every single opportunity.
Just take 120 million for Elliot Anderson.
You throw it. Yeah. It doesn't matter. You make mistakes. It gives you the opportunity to make countless mistakes. And that's what you want, right? Ideally. In a sporting sense, that's what you want. You want to have the freedom to make those mistakes. But your management is backing you in such a way that you can deal with it and get across it, regardless. I mean, in a commercial way, in a business way, it's complete fraudulent stuff. But
115 charges and counting.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Chelsea got a 10 million fine. That's it, man. Yeah. For 76 charges.
You know why they
76 or 77 charges.
No, but you know why? Those charges are not equivalent to City's charges. I just want to make that clear. It's very different. City are... I'm not going to get into it, but fraudulent versus sneaky. That's kind of like the distinction. Yeah, sneaky. But Chelsea, because they self-reported and it was a previous administration.
Okay.
So, because...
Oh yeah, it was something about Roman Abramovich and I think payments regarding which deal was it?
A lot of deals actually.
Okay.
Yeah. But, to sum up what we've just spoken about, right? You have incredible backroom staff. You have incredible players coming in. You have a team already, the squad which is there, very set identity. You have a coach coming with the same identity as well. All of this is working in his favor. Okay. But can he replace Guardiola?
No.
Can he get City successful from season 1? Or at all?
So I'll answer your questions one by one. He cannot replace Guardiola. No one can.
Already.
I mean, the personality of Guardiola you can't replace regardless of who you put in place. You put in Klopp, it's still not the same replacement as Guardiola. It's a different identity that he'll create on its own. I don't know about Maresca in that sense. But
personality-wise, he's a little abrasive. That's what Chelsea players said,
but the thing is, coming to them having the same team, I do not think so there, because in case your Bernardo's already gone, your Rodrigo's,
I think makes the biggest difference.
I think that completely dismantles the team from what they are. Already last season and the season before that, like especially ever since De Bruyne went, and Pep had that little patch of 6 months of where he kept losing games, right? The season before the last one. From then on, they have players, they have signings who previously do not have the years of experience that teams of City from before had, like in terms of winning the league, crossing the line. That I don't see many people in that particular team have at this moment. You remove Rodri from there, it's a completely new team. Without any prior experiences of winning, because you've taken out Bernardo, you've taken out Gundogan, you've taken out now if you're taking out Rodri, Kevin De Bruyne, you've taken out, Grealish is coming back, but I don't think he'll do much difference there.
Ederson also, if you want.
Ederson's also gone.
Kyle Walker.
So these stalwarts of your winning teams are not there anymore. So it's a new team altogether for Maresca.
The question then becomes that can he create a winning team?
I think he will be able to, as long as City back him financially, which they of course will. But the only thing that I am skeptical about is the longevity that they're planning to give Maresca, whether City will be ruthless in taking a decision in case things don't go right, or whether they'll back him. That is something yet to be seen, because we haven't seen them change managers in the last 10 years, and I don't think they are of that mindset right now as well to chop and change immediately. They would like to stick to Maresca.
And I think, if
he definitely will, but I think he will go on to win things if they stick with him, as long as they keep throwing in the money.
I think also you have a lot of big personalities at City. Because even I know you don't have the old stalwarts, right? But you still have a lot
Erling Haaland.
You have very, very successful players who have been brought into City expecting to be successful and winning titles and things like that. It could be a case of unraveling as well, where if he does not get off to the start or the season does not go as expected, you could have players who are not happy with the standards that are being set. Erling Haaland is not going to hang about a club which is not winning the league 2 years in a row. I don't think so. Right? I'm not going to say if City don't win the league, Haaland's leaving.
That's a different topic altogether, because nobody in the right mind has the wages to offer to Haaland what City are paying.
I think
700, 800,000 per week is close to $1 million.
I honestly think the teams will find a way to make it work for Erling. But that's a completely hypothetical situation. What I think tactically is the problem with Maresca is that he kind of sets up Guardiola, right? Where it's controlled possession,
slow build up.
The team sits in their defensive block, and then they try to break it down. The thing is that Guardiola is a genius, right? The ways he's able to bring about different mechanisms to break that through cutbacks, through quick 1-2s,
and we've seen
with the two number 10s, the wide number 10s. That is a tactical identity of Guardiola.
We've seen that being changed every year, by the way.
Exactly.
All of these you mentioned, these were year after year after year. Incremental changes.
Not everyone is as tactically sound as him. And I think the main thing, if you go back to see Maresca in his Chelsea days, is that when teams set up in that low defensive block and they realize that, these guys are actually not much of a threat. If we sit here, if we're built soundly, drilled defensively and stay disciplined, when we get the ball and we counter-attack, we are going to get goals. That was already a problem with Guardiola. I think that problem could even get exaggerated.
See, the thing is, Maresca had Cole Palmer on a brilliant run that particular season.
Which saved him a lot.
Contributing with those individual moments of brilliance that were able to break through these teams that were ready to sit in a low block, who knew that being compact would ideally stop Chelsea from scoring 99 out of 100 times, because they would follow the same patterns of play under Maresca. And like you said, that control type of possession can be dealt with as long as you have a solid structure in place. Yeah. But the way to unlock that is to have moments of individual brilliance, and that nothing can be done about it. No tactics can be able to stop it. Yeah. Palmer had an incredible run that particular season where he was able to contribute in those moments. Yeah. So I don't know who will be able to do so in this City team for him.
You're looking at Ryan Cherki, of course, but he has a ways to go before he's considered.
So also another thing that was there for Guardiola, was teams usually were used to sit off. They would sit off. They would be scared. The aura of facing a City team under Guardiola was a different prospect altogether. Exactly. And right now, that aura is not there. Yeah. It wasn't there under Guardiola itself the last couple of, a year or year and a half. But Maresca will have to deal with that right from the scratch, wherein teams, he'll have to earn his own respect. Teams will have to, he'll have to play and win against these teams to get that same level of fear back into City. Yeah. So we'll see how it goes, but I think it's not going to be a smooth sailing, and I don't think City, you'll hear much noise from the City side also initially, at least for the first year or so. Okay. They'll wait it out, I'd say.
You're convinced it's a long game?
I think City are, in that sense, their administration is smart that they know it's a long game.
Alright. If you have this system and you've said that, okay, this is the identity, I'm Barcelona light, this is the identity I want this team or this club to play with, you're not going to get a more suitable manager than Maresca.
Not immediately.
Xavi maybe when he comes, I think that's going to be the next natural replacement for Maresca. But yeah, we can get to that later. Po, very quickly, to close out this episode, where do you think, we didn't say where we think Chelsea are going to finish, but where do you think Chelsea and Manchester City are going to finish this season?
Chelsea, I think they're going to finish fourth.
Oh!
Yeah.
Okay.
City are going to finish third, if I'm not wrong.
United title challenger.
United second. Okay, we did this one thing before, no? Can we do it?
Wait.
Okay, I think we can do it when we're full house, but that was not part of the plan.
Just say no. Hold this and say that.
Why should I hold it?
I think this team is going to finish second next season.
Possibility of finish second or third.
Hold it.
I ain't holding it. If you want to do it when all three of us are there? Okay, yeah.
Okay, if United finish above Arsenal, will you hold this and say that United are a better club than Arsenal?
Listen, I ain't going to take part in any of these sort of rituals. Why am I the guinea pig every single time? You wear the Tottenham shirt this time, no?
1 second. You were not a guinea pig.
I was cheated out of it.
We're talking about the quiz episode.
Guys, I was cheated about it. Watch it again.
He lost the quiz.
Don't just listen. Watch it. Watch it multiple times on YouTube. Give us some views also in the process of doing so.
Okay.
And you'll get to know that who was cheated and who was cheated. I got one question lesser.
Okay. We're not going to...
check it out. You guys tell us what's right and wrong.
Yeah. And we also made Po wear a Spurs jersey. A proud Arsenal fan, I'm sure. Wearing a Spurs jersey in the Real Madrid episode. I don't know when that was released. Go back and listen to that too. But we're gonna cut it short here, Po. I think we've cut it long here. It's been a longer episode.
It's a long episode.
But thank you so much. We're really excited for the new season. I'm really looking forward to going out, watching my team play football after a long ass time. Michael Carrick.
Must have been a long time for you, no? With only having played 40 games last season.
That makes no sense.
Because you waited a long time to watch
it. The the season was the same for all teams. Apart from teams who went to the Champions League, so you got to see one extra game where your team got destroyed.
It's not about one. Yeah. Our team never got destroyed in that game. Like, as in, the scoreline doesn't show us getting destroyed in that game.
The scoreline doesn't show it, but people who have
Listen,
eyes...
if not for that penalty, I don't see us having conceded a goal in that game. Because PSG were not breaking us down.
If not for that mistake, you would not have scored in 300 minutes of football.
Doesn't matter. We would have scored. The thing is, we would have ensured they wouldn't have scored for sure. Because PSG, you look back at it again. The number of chances, concrete chances they had were very less. They were not able to break past the defense.
Why can't I look at Arsenal in the same lens?
Why do you want to look at Arsenal in the same lens?
Okay, bro.
Okay, now it's time to cut it short.
Alright, everyone. Thank you for watching. This was a fun episode. New season, new studio. Lot more episodes coming your way. So do subscribe and see you on the next one. See you. Bye-bye.